What up, guys? Alchemist, and I got something nice for you. So I wanted to make a build for each strand exotic since let's be honest, it's a strand heavy artifact this season and we don't know when the season gonna end, so you might have fun with it. So we already did a navigator build. Make sure you check that video out. We already did a borrowed dyad strand build. Make sure y'all check that out. We even did a meta build, strand meta build, which uses final warning in it. Go check that out. I may do another final warning build just because I got a unique idea in my head and I want to see if it can work or not. So that's a 50-50 if you may see that video or not. But today's strand weapon we're using Wishkeeper. If you don't know what Wishkeeper do, Wishkeeper basically it's a craftable exotic, so you pick whatever 3 perks you want it. It can get Hashling on it, which we're gonna be rocking on our build. Exotic perk on this weapon is Snare Weaver. Precision hits and final blows build energy towards the Snare Weaver arrow that can be fired from the hip. On impact, Snare Weaver arrows create a pattern on the ground as a trap and suspend nearby targets that step into the trap. You got to get 5 charges, I believe, for you to be able to finally set that trap. So just hit your precision shots and kill enemies with it. You'll get your stacks, and then you hip fire it and you leave a trap on the ground and then suspend any enemy that steps on it or any enemy you shot it at, right? And also we got Silkbound Slayer, which basically says this weapon deals bonus damage to suspended targets. It does 50% bonus damage to targets that is suspended. Then it says gain faster draw time for a short duration when you suspend a target from any source, not just from this weapon, right? And damage the suspended target with this weapon. It increased the reload speed to 100%, okay? And it multiplies the reload animation, so it shoots very quick when you actually after you get done suspending a target, right? Very good weapon. Again, when you shoot a suspended target, you do 50% more damage to them. Very good damage, right? The exotic we're gonna be rocking with this build is Balance of Power. Balance of Power make it that our Threaded Spectre, our Shadow Clone, has increased duration and more durability, so it stay out there longer and it's 50% damage resist to enemy damage. And damaging it spawn threatlings now. It already does it when it blows up, but now if they shoot it, it'll spawn threatened without the clone actually dying and still, you know, help out. The second part for PvP, we in PvE, so it doesn't matter, right? Balance of Power will be used in this build because this build, we are spamming class abilities non-stop. But I mean, you get your class ability in 1 or 2 seconds. If you suspend a group of enemies, you get it within 1 or 2 seconds, okay? We're rocking Lotus Eater as our sidearm for champions, deal with anti-barrier champions, and then also to go into the void aspect inside the build, and we get some void overshield as well. And then of course Watchful Eye to handle the overload, unstoppable champions, and give us Rolling Storm for some bolt charges. This is where we're rocking our artifact. The main thing you want is unraveling orbs in the second slot so that we get some unraveling rounds for our Wishkeeper and get that 5% extra strand damage to debuff target since we're gonna be suspending everybody, unraveling them and whatnot, severing them. So it might be that 5% extra damage from the boosted version unraveling orbs. And then we got Valwe, so we can throw out tangles and sever targets. Third slot, you just want to make sure you have Disruptor Spike on so that the enemy do 52% less damage to us instead of 40%. Fourth column, you want to make sure you have Horror Shuttle on so you can make threatlings from unraveled targets, and threatlings do sever now. We got Hashling on our Wishkeeper, so sever all the enemies we want. And then in the last column, you want to make sure you have 2 shreds, so dealing sustained damage to sever targets, what the thread is going to be doing. Dealing sustained damage to sever targets unravels them, so thread is going to sever them. We keep shooting the sever targets, they get unraveled, and then defeating a sever target creates a hotspot of strand energy. We're trying to get those for health and within mail in this build. And then if you got the boosted version, it make unraveling projectiles do more damage and deal more damage to people that are severed, so makes the damage a lot in this build. Fragments, this part is very important. Rocking Marksman Dodge because it got the least cooldown for our Shade Step compared to Gambler's Dodge. We're rocking Shackle Grenade so we can suspend more often with our grenade as well, just a pure suspend build. We're rocking Threaded Spectre because we got the balance of power, whatever exotic on, so of course we're rocking this, and it makes more threatlings for us and to distract enemies for survivability. And then we're rocking Ensnaring Slam. In this episode, they buffed up Ensnaring Slam and Ascension where basically they proc whatever class ability you have on at that moment. So whenever I pop a Snaring Slam, not only would it reload my weapon, but also it will trigger Threaded Spectre. So whenever I do a Snaring Slam, it will make a Shadow Clone for me. And a Snaring Slam does proc armor mods now that does says class ability usage. So yeah, we're gonna be spamming Ensnaring Slam as our class ability here, right? Suspend the targets in the air, make a clone in the same process, reload our weapons, proc our armor mods. It's golden, right? Fragment, we're rocking Threaded Evolution. Yes, Threaded Evolution, so our Threadlings travel further and do more damage. We got hashing on, and we're making a lot of Threadlings from unraveling targets from the artifact. So Threaded Evolution got to be on. Thread of Mind, this is the main important fragment we're going to be utilizing. Defeating suspended targets grant us class ability energy. Usually when you're rocking the exotic and you're rocking Threaded Spectre, it slows down the cooldown of your class ability to 0.6 instead of it staying at a 1 multiplier. But with Thread of Mind, we get our class ability back quicker from killing suspended targets. So long as we kill suspended target, a lot of suspended target, we get our class ability back immediately after using it to suspend target with Snaring Slam. Rocking Thread of Continuity, so enemies stay suspended 2 seconds longer than usual. And then of course they got Unravel and Sever that stay on longer as well with this. And then rocking Thread of Generation, so when we're dealing damage, we get our grenade back quicker to suspend with our Chakra Grenade. Armor mods, we're rocking Void Siphon and Harmonic Siphon because we got Strand and Void on. We're rocking Dynamo, so whenever we use our class ability near enemies, we get super energy, which we're going to be doing a lot. Arm piece, we got Impact Induction, so when we do melee damage for our Threaded Spike, we get grenade energy back for our Chakra Grenade. And then we got Focus Strike and Bolstering Detonation, so we get some class ability energy back from using our melee and grenade. Resist mods in the chest piece, we made sure we got melee damage resistance on, since we will be doing a Snaring Slam. We want to take less damage when we go into a crowd of enemies to suspend them. And then leg piece, we're rocking one strand weapon surge, simply because we want to rock insulation as well. So whenever we pick up Orb Power, we get bonus class ability energy. If you feel like this is overkill, you can take insulation off and put on 2 strand weapon surges for that extra damage. And then we got recuperation on, of course. And then class ability, we got Bomber on, so whenever we use our class ability, we get some grenade energy for our Chakra Grenade. We're rocking Utility Kickstart, so when we got armor charges on us, we get a chunk of class ability back whenever we use our class ability. So this helps us get our uptime on our class ability even more, so we can spam it as often as possible. And then we got Reaper on, so whenever we use our class ability, we kill somebody, we make an Orb Power. Also, a cool thing we do with Balance of Power, and I'll probably put a clip up on the screen. While we got Balance of Power on, like I said, Ensnaring Slam makes clones now. When we inside our Threaded Spectre super, y'all already know we can spam Ensnaring Slam as much as we want. So in our super, we can spam Ensnaring Slam to make multi-shadow clone jutsu. Kage Bushido Jutsu! We can do all of that in our super and put like 6 to 7 clones out there just to really confuse the enemies and have them shooting at our clones non-stop, making hecka Threadlings out there because them shooting the clones while we stay alive and do what we gotta do. So you can definitely spam the Snaring Slam inside Threaded Spectre, just suspend all the enemies, put a lot of clones out there on the field, confuse the enemies. The clones will stay out there for a long time for you to do what you gotta do. If they kill it, Threadlings come out, making it even worse for the enemies, right? And then if you kill the enemies while they suspended, when your super comes off, you can get your class ability back again if you used it one more time after your super went off. And also, before your super comes off, if you're not doing a Snaring Slam, right before your super bar finna end, you can shade step inside your super at the right timing, and it will make a clone as if you were standing regular instead of just doing the regular cartwheel or whatever while you inside your Threaded Spectre. I mean your super, and Silk Strike. And it'll put a clone out there without using your class ability. Just a little cool fun fact. Just gotta know the timing. Right before your super finna go off, press the class ability button, shade step, and it'll put a clone out there and not use your class ability, your regular class ability outside of your super. That's the build, guys. Hope you guys love it. Make sure you have 100 resilience, 100 mobility if you can, but 90 is okay as well, and 100 discipline. That's what you want for this build. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys always. I had fun using this build, and until next time, stay up.